Hello students, in previous lecture we have done with the gametogenesis including spermatogenesis, structure of sperm, oogenesis, structure of ovum. That topic now we are going to discuss. So in this lecture we are moving ahead to the structure of secondary oocyte. All of you know that in female the unfertilized egg is ovulated and released from the ovary, which is actually called as secondary oocyte. It is without shell, which is called as non-cleotic. It contains a small amount of yolk, which is called as microleucocyte, and its size ranges from 0.1 micrometer, rounded structure, non-motile and haploid female gamete. The nucleus appears large, which is called as germinal vesicle. It's a typical nucleus, pronucleus formed at the time of fertilization. So you can see the structure of secondary oocyte on the slide, which consists of cytoplasm. In this case it is called as ooplasm. It is devoid of centriole and covering present like egg membrane, zona pellucida, corona radiata, etc. All of you know the corona radiata arises from the granulosa cells and adheres firmly to the zona pellucida, while the zona pellucida is outer to the vitelline membrane, and egg membrane is called as vitelline membrane, which secretes a non-cellular glycoprotein membrane. The perivitelline space is space filled with the fluid between the vitelline and zona pellucida membrane. The first polar body lies in the space and egg shows a polarity. Germinal vesicle and first polar body is called as animal pole, while the opposite pole to the germinal vesicle is called as vegetal pole. Now let us move to the next topic, 2.c, fertilization, or called as syngamy. Now what is a fertilization? It involves the formation and fusion of gametes. Male gamete and female gamete unite to form a zygote. On this topic we have seen a small video during our lecture. So fertilization is a mechanism which involves different steps, that are movement of sperm towards the egg, entry of sperm into egg, acrosome reaction, activation of ovum, and fusion of egg and sperm to form a zygote. Now let us see the significance of fertilization. The secondary oocyte completes the process of oogenesis and it is transformed into mature ovum. Now the diploid chromosome number, which is restored into the zygote by the process called as fertilization or syngamy. Our ovum or the ovum lacks of the centriole necessary for the further division are received from the sperm during the fertilization. And this fertilization involves fusion of male and female gametes from the two parents, and it results in the variation combinations of a number of characters which are significant for the evolution. The sex of the offspring is also determined by the syngamy, by the number of chromosomes which are present inside the nucleus. Next topic is embryonic development. The zygote formed as a result of syngamy and activated to divide further. It includes different stages like cleavage, blastulation, implantation, gastrulation. We have seen two videos for the embryonic development and pregnancy. Then we are moving to the last topic. Towards the end of this main topic, there is a placenta. This placenta is attached to the wall of uterus and umbilical cord of fetus. It's a temporary structural and functional connection between the maternal as well as a fetal circulation. Placenta facilitates the supply of oxygen and nutrients. It also removes excretory waste and CO2 which are produced from the fetus. This is the only organ formed of two different individuals. The part of the placenta which is contributed by the fetus is called as fetal placenta and it has a chorionic villi, while the maternal part is called as maternal placenta, which is rich in blood supply. Therefore, human placenta is a hemochorial and the umbilical cord having a 3 blood vessels. Out of this, 2 are smaller and one which carries the blood from the placenta, which is a large vein, and returns the blood to the fetus. The placenta acts as an endocrine tissue. It secretes the HCG, progesterone, estrogen, and relaxin hormone, which are required for the fetus growth and maintenance of the pregnancy. So we have seen this diagram. We have discussed this diagram. Then we will move to the parturition. Parturition. What is a parturition? Is a process of giving birth to the baby. It requires a lot of physical activity, that is uterine and abdominal contraction, dilation of cervix, and passage of baby are collectively called as labor. This labor is accompanied by the localized sensation of discomfort, which are called as normally a labor pains. They are controlled by a complex neuroendocrine mechanism. The signals arises from the fully formed fetus, and the placenta causes a mild uterine contraction. For that, we have also seen a small video of 4-5 minutes. Then we will move to the lactation. The mammary glands of females starts producing milk at the end of pregnancy by the process called as lactation. The hormone prolactin is responsible for the milk production. The fluid which is secreted by the mammary glands soon after the childbirth is called as colostrum. This colostrum is a sticky yellow fluid. It consists of proteins, lactose, and mother's antibodies. Contains low fat and antibodies that helps in the developing a resistance for the newborn baby at the time when its own immune response is not fully developed. Then we have discussed reproductive health and the initiative taken by the Indian government to literate the young generation. We have seen the goals of RCH, that is to create the awareness among the people about various aspects related to the reproduction, to provide the facilities to the people to understand and build up the reproductive health, to provide support for the building up the reproductively healthy society, and to bring about a change mainly in 3 critical health indicators, that is reducing the total infertility rate, infant mortality rate, and maternal mortality rate. Then we have discussed these 4 points, how to achieve these goals. Next, birth control measures. There are 2 different mainly types, temporary and permanent. In temporary, natural method, safe method, and rhythm method, 1 week prior and 1 week after menstrual. Then coitus interrupts or withdrawal, male partner withdraws the penis from the vagina before the ejaculation. Lactational amenorrhea, method based on the fact that ovulation does not occur during the period of intense lactation following by parturition. Chemical means, by means of spermicides. In this method, chemicals like foam, tablets, jellies, and creams are used by the female partner before the sexual intercourse. If these chemicals are introduced into the vagina, they adhere to the mucous membrane and immobilize and kills the sperm. Next one is the mechanical means or barrier methods. With the help of barriers, the ovum and sperm are prevented from the physical mating, and these mechanical barriers are of 3 types. Mainly condom, diaphragm, that is cervical caps and walls, and intrauterine devices, that is IUD. This IUD is clinical devices are plastic or metal objects, or doctor or trained nurse places these IUDs into the uterus, and these devices includes lips loops, copper releasing IUDs. Diaphragm, this device used by the female, again they are made up of rubber. They prevent a conception by the blocking the entry of sperms through the cervix. This device is inserted into the female reproductive tract to cover the cervix during the copulation. Next are the physiological or oral devices. Physiological devices are used in the form of tablets and hence are popularly called as pills. It is an oral contraceptive used by the female. The pill contains progesterone and estrogen. They inhibit the ovulation, hence no eggs are released from the ovary. And other contraceptives, the birth control implant is contraceptive used by the female. It is a tiny thin rod about the size of matchstick which is implanted under the skin of the upper arm. They contain progesterone and estrogen. Their mode of action is similar to that of a pills. They prevent the pregnancy for 3 to 4 years. Some permanent method we have seen, that is a tubectomy. The permanent method in men, which is called as vasectomy, and in case of female is called as tubectomy. These are the surgical methods, or also called as sterilization methods. In vasectomy, a small part of vas deferens is tied and cut, whereas in case of tubectomy, a small part of the fallopian tube is tied and cut. This blocks gamete transport and prevent a pregnancy. Then we have discussed the MTP, that is a medical termination of pregnancy. So this is the last part of our chapter number 2. Let us stop here. In next lecture we will start with a new chapter.